We are celebrating our 16th anniversary of BeFM with the slogan BeFM's Sweet 16, Global and Beyond. And for Midday Meet today, our theme is celebrating 16 years with global stars. And now it is time for our special segment for today, titled My Skill with our global star, Amber Liu. And she is on the line right now. Hello, Amber!
Hi.
First, I wanted to introduce the theme of today's episode, everyone. If you have been listening to Midday Meet, I did mention that Amber and I did live together and we were former roommates, and it was a wonderful time. It was basically a huge chunk of my 20s. First, before we get started, we just listened to one of your songs called Need to Feel Needed, and it's been a while since that song came out.
Yeah.
Can you introduce it to us for a little bit, like a little quick summary?
Oh, yeah. Need to Feel Needed was, oh, man. When I heard the beat, I was like, whoa, this was a blast from the past.
Really?
I think I released the song, I think, around 2000, let's say, I want to guess 19.
Nope,
let's
wrong.
say. I'm wrong.
I just looked it up.
2017.
1 year before that.
16? Really?
Yeah, 2016.
That's a 9-year-old song?
Very old.
Oh, my God.
Wow, that was really when we were babies.
Yeah, and I remember the song, it actually was, I had like 3 or 4 different versions of it. I had written like the hook like many times, and then we settled on this one. And then, I shot a really fun music video with my friends. Our amazing host today was featured in it. I just wanted a good vibe song, and that was like just me testing the waters. And that's Need to Feel Needed. I kind of felt that feeling of like love and, you know, that push and pull and like that idea and that feeling of just loving somebody or being wanted by somebody. It's just really nice sometimes.
So I remember back then, like Amber, even right now for her music videos, she likes to include like friends and stuff instead of, you know, getting some outside people, even with like your dancer friends also. Like for this music video, 2 of them were dancers. However, rest of us, we were just regular people, just friends.
They're my friends.
Yeah.
You're great.
Yeah.
That's more than a reason enough.
We didn't even have a little introduction yet, Amber. There may be some people who don't know you. Can you do a little introduction and tell us what you've been up to recently and where you are in the world?
Yes. Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Amber Liu. You guys might know me from K-pop back in the day. I've been working as an artist for many, many years. Might have seen me on YouTube for some amount of time. A lot of people know me through that as well. And I'm a singer-songwriter. I like to write songs and play with my dog, who is currently on my lap.
And that is Jack, everyone. Yes, do you have any new projects or music or personal milestones that are happening these days for you?
Hopefully something soon. I don't know how to word this. I'm working on a couple projects right now.
Okay.
So that new album is one. Another one is like a couple of like a special version of some of my other songs that I have been working on. And then some other stuff that I cannot say exactly what it is, but it's some other stuff with some other stuff. The thing I can definitely share 100 billion% is that I'm having so much fun in the studio with my team.
There are some secrets that Amber can't tell right now, but everyone, she is working on stuff. So stay tuned and, you know, continually to support her, please. And so now we're going to talk about how we met.
How did we meet? I know it's through a mutual friend.
Yes.
Should we say names or it's not?
I'm sure she's not going to listen, right?
Caroline. Okay, I said it.
Yes, her name is Caroline, our mutual friend that introduced us to each other.
You just kind of vibed, and I think at that time you had just moved and you were looking for a roommate.
Her memory's a little bit, hazy there. So I moved to Korea in 2013, and I was living in Hongdae area at the time. And Amber, of course, was living in like Apgu area. However, we would always hang out in Apgujeong area because that's, it's just cooler, right? And also Amber never leaves her neighborhood, so we would go to her. But then I would always like go out. I would take a taxi there and then take a taxi home. And that's like, at least back then it was cheaper, but it was around like 4만 won both ways. So 2만 won one way, 2만 won the other way. And then I quit that job and then I was moving over to Daechi to teach in Daechi-dong. And then Amber was like, hey, you're moving over here? Why don't you just live with me? And I was like, really? I can do that? And then she was like, yeah, why not? And then that's how we started living together. It was just random. But then we became friends because, yes, a mutual friend, Caroline, she's also from Maryland. And she was already friends with Amber. And we were able to meet each other through then. And, you know, I'm just such a cool person, you know? Everyone loves me, so Amber fell in love with me too.
Yeah, Kim became like the... In our 20s, you were definitely the what do you call that?
Comic relief.
Comic relief, that's the word. I don't want to say punching bag.
No, I was a punching bag also.
But you were also embracing it, but then you would also be snarky back. And that was always like, oh, Kim's really good about this. So I think that's what made us like even like just make fun of you even more and tease you. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm like so happy that like, you know, that I got to spend it with you and the friends. Because like, at that time, there weren't a lot of like foreigners, I guess. Mm-hmm. At least in my like when I first went, there weren't even a lot of Korean Americans.
Right.
So I didn't really have a lot of people to relate to or talk about things with. And I was like, you know, you guys just always like helped me a lot. You guys kept me grounded.
Our next segment, it was going to be talking about overcoming hardships. And I know that, you know, living in a new country and adapting to it must have been really hard with the language barriers, the cultural differences, and also pressure from everyone in Korea also. How did you overcome hardships, not just here, but also moving back to America and doing your solo stuff?
I think I'm still practicing this, but it's to be okay with being afraid. And I think there's one part of it in my head where it's like fear stops you from doing something. But once you realize that fear is part of it, you know, fear is part of that. I can admit to myself that I am like freaking out and I'm really nervous. Like, it's just more about just like kind of pushing yourself to just take the first step.
Right.
Because sometimes it can be kind of like a domino effect. Like when I go on stage still after 15 years, I get nervous. I always get nervous.
Really?
My music director said something to me one day. He's like, hey, you still get nervous? And I'm like, you know I got it. It's just, you know, just really scared. Or like anxiety kind of just pumps through my veins. And he was like, Amber, like you being scared is like you showing that you care.
Oh, that's
like you
so
care
good.
about your craft. Yeah. Because I think the reason why like maybe somebody would be afraid, at least for me, is where I want to do such a good job. I don't want to let the fans down. Like they came out and bought a ticket with, you know, their hard-earned money from their hard-earned money or from their parents or as a gift or something. Like I don't want to like let them down. I want to give them a good time.
That's good.
And so like I think realizing that and my music director putting that into perspective for me just really made that process a little bit more. I think that anxiety a lot more like containable. And at the same time, it's also helped me, I think like giving into the fear of like, yo, like I'm a human being. It's okay. And these are natural human emotions.
I was just going to ask you future goals of what you want to do.
I definitely want to figure out my brain chemistry of like, this can sound cheesy, but like what makes me happy? I think that's something that I've been really, really focusing on because I love my job. I love what I do, but I love like my family who's here, but I'm also like, 70, 80% of the time I'm away from them. And I'm trying to get into more hobbies and just things that I can like I started getting into gardening a little bit.
Really? You have a green thumb?
A little bit. Let's not call it a green thumb quite yet.
Not yet.
It just got planted. Let's see where it goes in like 2 months. But I think it's just things that like make me happy other than music.
Right.
Like, I think I've had like a very, not to be a downer, but I've had a very complicated relationship with music. It's something that I'm passionate about, that I love, that I've cried over, sweated over, and, you know, been exhausted over. But it's also the thing that gives me so much like joy and love and just what keeps me going. So I think like there's another part of me that's just like, what other things do I enjoy?
Oh, we have a message here. 엠버님 반갑습니다. And 보아님 saying, 엠버님 한국에서 더 자주 봤으면 좋겠어요. 늘 응원해요.
네, 감사합니다.
Hey, so your Korean is still good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you
I think
still
it's still
use
pretty good. Yeah, I think it's still like, I have our other friend Esther I see pretty often. So like we're always using Konglish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've been like seeing her mom and her brother more. So like sometimes like it just like seeps in. But I will say my brain with languages, like daily I'm speaking a third Chinese, a third English, a third Korean.
Oh.
So my brain has gotten a lot more like scrambled. 근데 아직도 할 수 있어요?
그럼 이제부터 한국어로 할까요?
그럴까요?
아니요. This is 영어 방송국. This is BeFM. We also also have another message here from Jinli-님 saying, 엠버님 정말 좋아 보입니다.
감사합니다. 감사합니다.
Yeah, lots of
잠을 많이
people.
잡니다. I sleep a lot now.
Amber, we're almost out of time. I did want to share with all of our listeners your SNS ID so that you can, you know, have people continually to follow you. Can you share with us what it is?
Yes, my tag is very easy, Amber Lou.
And Amber has lots of followers. Do you know how many followers you have on the gram right now?
I kind of like don't go on as
look
much
at it?
and don't look at it. I do
then-
sometimes. When I post something, I'll like read comments and I'll try to like look for a comment that's like, should I respond to this one? But to be honest, recently I have been kind of off the gram just a little bit just to
I've
focus on the album.
noticed.
Yeah.
Yes, we wish you all the luck, Amber, with your music endeavors. And hopefully you come to Korea and you can come play with me in Busan.
Are you going to take me to the ocean?
Yes, of course. I'll take you to the beach, wherever you want to go.
Yes. Okay.
Well, thank you, Amber, so much for joining us here at BeFM for the 16th anniversary and birthday. I hope 2025 brings you lots of joy and happiness.